I blame the Karens for ruining everything, really. It's the liberal white women that make it their identity to crusade for who they perceive to be the minorities.
So the reason I decided to leave America is because that place was really depressing. And 2 years in Japan, I gotta say, man, I honestly don't have much of a reason to go back except for a good friend of mine. I don't know about you.
Pretty much all my life, since I was in high school, I wanted to get out of America.
Now, I lived in actually 3 countries in my entire life, and I remember going to France, and that was like an entire experience in itself. But I never really felt like I loved France so much that I would stay there for the rest of my life. You know, there was something about America that felt like home. But then after 2020, this might have absolutely no relationship with France, but after that period, everything felt different about Western society as a whole. And I just felt this like internal need to go away for a while. And the fucking 2.5 years I've been in Japan, they haven't been like the best years of my entire life, but I have to say that I prefer being here than working some crap job back in America where I have to have a car, put gasoline into it, put like $80 into that, and just live a schedule I don't really enjoy. Whereas now I have all this creative freedom, and even though I'm far away, I'm like somewhat happy. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. I completely agree that I think things have changed in America.
Yeah.
From 2016, there was a shift. And I think there was a bit of a back and forth culturally. And then COVID just really screwed everything up. And yeah, things just really feel different now. Like, there's a reason why, like, I'll talk to people on a somewhat frequent basis about this. I'm like, I can't believe it's been 7 years since 2017. It might just be like every boomer as they get older. It's like, oh yeah, I can't believe it's been 40 years since the 1980s. But I mean, it feels too narrow of a time because I've been saying this for the past 5 years. Like, I can't believe 2017 is already over. Like, it just feels so weird. Like, for me, in some serious sense, time stopped in 2017. And everything else, and keep in mind too, 2017, 2018 is around the time as the Clown World meme first came out. And
Wait, what?
Yeah, clown, the honkler, the Clown Pepe, the clown variant of Pepe. Like, the meme was Clown World, and it's just from then onwards, like, it just feels like we've been descending further and further into Clown World. So, the last time I feel like I could have taken life, especially life in America, seriously was like 2016, 2017. From there, it was just one ridiculous show onto another, and COVID just really puts things on overdrive.
Yeah, especially because COVID really made everybody able to work in their homes. And I know that the corporate jobs that I've been trying to avoid my entire life, I think this is just something that I saw in college as well. But the whole lifestyle of like not having any sense of self and prostrating yourself in front of a company just so that you can make like a quick buck. It was normalized after COVID. I remember I was living at my mom's place and I would go downstairs in the mornings to make myself a bowl of like Captain Crunch or something. And as I'm eating Captain Crunch, jobless as a college graduate, there'd be like my stepdad in the other room on his computer with his headphones on, and they're just having like a Zoom meeting about some bullshit that I honestly don't care about. But me imagining myself in somebody else's position doing any job like that, I would feel completely dead. Now on like the Clown World thing, you gotta explain how that kind of relates to all of this. So I'm thinking about how the corporate job world is depressing, and I think after 2020 everyone just kind of accepted it because wages went down, nobody went outside anymore, and for the people who were already making money, they probably made more, and then everybody else like you and me and Gen Z were like, well, we're fucked, nobody cares, so either we do it or we live a life of poverty, and we're like, it's not the best, but at least I'm kind of being authentic with myself.
Things have gotten, honestly, so ridiculous that it's hard to remember what I was even complaining about in 2018. Like, I mean, you had all this woke shit. Like, it was really starting to take off then.
Bro, define woke.
No, but I will define woke for you.
Okay.
This is how I personally define woke. I remember homosexual marriage, gay marriage, that kind of thing. That was somewhat of a contested thing in the early to mid 2000s. culture had already shifted to the point where people would start giving you, like, start looking at you a little weird if you're like, come on, bro, like, just let people love who they love, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, like, there was still some debate about it. But by, like, 2010, 2011, when I started high school, there was no more debate, really. Especially if you're in an area, like, where I grew up, which is New York City. Like, at that point, like, if you were anti-gay marriage, like, most people would give you a weird look, like, why are you so bigoted, man?
I think that's definitely because you were a New Yorker. You got to remember, like, I was in the Midwest.
Okay, but by 2016, I would say that caught up everywhere.
Yes, by 2016 it caught up. But 2011, no, it had not caught up yet. It's interesting that by 2011 it was already kind of like 2016 vibes for you, because I remember that you could still say gay and nobody.
Again, I blame the Karens for ruining everything. Really, it's the liberal white women that make it their identity to crusade for who they perceive to be the minorities, which honestly is a condescending standpoint on their part, to be honest with you. But they're the ones ruining things in my opinion.
What is it, like, we don't need ID laws because certain groups of people don't know how to get IDs or something? It's like, what? Are you serious? Like, that's a little presumptuous at the very least. So that's definitely something that...
So if I'm going to be interpreted anyway, I'm anti-Karen.
I thought about making an entire video about Karens because that Rudyard guy talked about Karens in one of his videos, and he mentioned how, like, Karens serve to bloat the bureaucracy. Like, they're the perfect match, because then what's the first thing that a Karen asks? Can I talk to the manager? So the managerial class and Karens have, like, this perfect relationship because she wants to fucking enforce her stupid-ass worldview nobody gives a flying fuck about. And as a result, the managerial class is like, oh, okay, this is an excuse for us to enforce our power a little bit more. And they grow, and everybody in between is more miserable.
No, this is a great point. And, oh, man, I wish I wasn't drunk, but I think I think I could actually make a good point about this if I had some time to write something up. But I really think that, like, this relation, like, you know, the authority that the Karen sees in management. Mm-hmm. You know, and most people hate management.
Fuck
but
management, man.
But the Karen loves management, and there's this weird relationship the two have. And I would say it stems from penis envy.
Oh my god.
On the no, I really mean
Animus possessed. Right?
Yeah, animus possessed. Yeah, but I would say it really stems from penis envy because, like, they see masculine power being represented in management because they are in control of an institution. So they are kind of, you know, quote unquote, the alpha male. They are an group of individuals who lead a pack. And so they respect management because they see them as leading a pack of people. And Karens specifically want to get into roles of management or anything adjacent to it like HR because it lets them assert that same kind of control. So they want to become it because that's what they're attracted to, in a sense. And that's where it becomes an animus complex.
It's kind of like the analogy that people make with the government, how, like, in the 1960s with you know, the higher divorce rates and everything, the government kind of became the new father, in a sense. So you're trying to say that the government is, in essence, like a masculine figure that the Karens subconsciously need or yearn for.
Not just the government, just any authoritative body, a manager, but the government is a good example of it on a macro level, and that's why, like, you know, a lot of Karens want the government to do more regulation, to control free speech and all that stuff, because to them that's like the ultimate authority and everything.
Yeah, the managerial class. I think it was it Carol Quigley? It might have been Carol Quigley who predicted that the managerial and bureaucratic class would be like the end of society in its entirety. And as always, Scrutly Mutley.